b3, queen g5, a3, and bishop f8. Well, actually, I've got a bit of a correction on our analysis of the opening with Peter Dogic, the one we said about Anand Mamedyarov. So there's 4 knights opening, and we've mentioned a game of David Janowski and Emanuel Lasker. And well, it turns out it was not from the World Championship match, but from a tournament in 1910, so 1 year later, basically. So this is the current situation in Wesley saw with Magnus Carlsen. I believe White's gonna play bishop b2. Feels like bishop b2 has to be played. Well, queen c7 is a possibility in this case. Black captures d5. Actually seems like black is getting good position here. In case of queen d7, black captures first on g2, plays, well, once again, famous question, which rook has to move to d8, because, well, I don't see an e-file opening anytime soon, so possibly rook e to d8, with the intention to put the other rook to c8. And here, well, black simply can take, play rook c8. Well, seems like black is having good counterplay here. Rook to start with rook b8 to kick the queen away, and then to progress with rook d3 possibly. So 1 extra pawn for white, but black is far ahead in development and might be even better here. So after bishop f8, well, after bishop, I thought bishop b2, but still black can capture d5. But it's absolutely unclear what to do for white. Maybe this queen c7 is actually a critical try. e4, in order to try to keep the pawn on d5, is far less clear now, because black is given an option to play c5 or possibly even c6 to force the capture. And this way white is getting majority on the king side, but black is far advanced already on the queen side. So d3, let's say, well, I don't know where the queen belongs. Queen d8, even queen d8 here, and then a4 or c5. So I'm not sure if black won't be faster in this case, possibly c5 at once. Well, not an easy task for Wesley Saw. After bishop f8, both players have roughly 1 hour and 5 minutes on their clock, and Wesley Saw is thinking basically it's a last chance for him to try to climb to the second position in this tournament. Well, the last chance is to try to beat Magnus Carlsen. Well, some moves in practically in every game. Vishy Anand against Shamkir Mamedyarov left the symmetrical track, and now it's just very complex position with practically all the pieces being on the board. Actually, only 1 pawn is changed in Anand Mamedyarov. That's a current position here. After e3, well, this is the last position we saw, a3, bishop f8, when I thought white would take on c7, but white played bishop b2. Bishop b2, and black takes bishop d5 So bishop d5, e4 follows. Bishop went back to b7, and bishop d4 was taken by Wesley. So Wesley is down to 35 minutes, which means he had difficult time solving the opening problem. I think around this position Wesley spent a lot of time. Well, there've been one funny line like this: f4, queen g6, e4. So white tries to get a strong pawn formation in a center, but bishop d5 using the pin, and in case of f5, which normally would win a piece for black, black has queen b6. So this is a possible explanation why actually bishop went to f8. So f5, queen b6, and if bishop is captured, this wins a queen for black. Well, we meanwhile witness a move c5, just played by Magnus Carlsen. Bishop goes to e3. So fine shot of bishop. Well, not that often you see bishop on e3 with pawn being on d2. Queen g6 perhaps. Now in case of queen g6, white cannot take c5 because of rook c8, and then b4, d6 winning a piece. So after queen g6, e4 needs the protection, some sort of d3 possibly. Then, well, won't be surprised if black is already better here. Absolutely won't be surprised. Rook a to c8, for instance, maybe planning to get something like c4. And to add slight advantage in time for Magnus Carlsen, it might be a sign of his next victory. Well, a lot of changes happened in Vladimir Kramnik, and the b4 was played by Wesley, and after cb4, bishop d2, Magnus went for bishop c6, intending bishop a4. Seems like white is not in time to win b pawn, and should be looking for, well, actually white has to be looking for an exchange sacrifice, it seems, this or other way. The bishop a4 is the threat. This will also happen after bishop b4, and in case of bishop f8, takes, well, rook takes. I don't know if black is winning, but obviously very good chances for black. So after bishop c6, if white tries to move the rook out of b3, and then it's bishop a4. When queen is moved somewhere, I don't know, c7, should it be c7, then b3, and other bishop is ready to be played to a3, rook c8, rook c2. So all of a sudden this passed pawn is rather dangerous. It's interesting how Magnus manages not to get this pawn blocked, and at the same time not to support it with the rook from behind. Well, particularly in this line, yes, rook b2, bishop there, queen, well, in case of queen b1, b3, already bishop a3 is a threat, and rook c8, well, somehow all the pieces are set in motion. So it's a question, maybe white has to, after bishop c6, maybe white has to consider even immediate exchange sacrifice, but, well, it's hardly sufficient. Too many open files for black rooks, so black eventually will get to first rank or second rank. So still, yes, Carlsen's position looks much more preferable. Well, no move meanwhile from Anish Giri, and I don't even know which of our games today is gonna be finished first. Well, we have a couple of games which seem decided. Well, most probably Kramnik's, because this one looks like Vladimir is about to win, but still he's thinking. So it's interesting what Wesley comes up with. less than 25 minutes left for Wesley, so, and a bit of an unpleasant situation. Not yet a time trouble but if he spends more time here, then last moves before move 40 he might be playing with seconds on his clock. Well, an interesting face from Magnus once again. Not that ironic smile which he had in winning position against Kramnik, but still some specialists would figure out what in Carlsen's mind. Well, a lot of walking we have on a stage, so most of the players prefer to leave their opponents to sing along, and Carlsen does the same actually. So is everyone curious about Anand's game? Let's look what game Carlsen is looking at. We don't really know, but he certainly is interested. Well, it's certainly some other position he's interested in, not his own. Well, there's been a move from Anish. Magnus should be winning here, but Wesley So seems to just calculate everything. Queen d5, b3. Queen is almost trapped on d5, but d4 follows, bishop b6 and bishop e3. And here on rook a5, white always has queen b7. Only square, but rather unpleasant one. Attacking the rook and keeping everything attacked, like bishop on b6. And so Magnus played h6 to escape any possible backrank threats. e5 follows, so now bishop possibly getting to e4, and after some serious thought Magnus decided to play bishop c6, give away his passed pawn, so hence I don't believe there are gonna be some chances to win. Bishop g2, king g2, bishop d4, and it developed further actually. Bishop d4, check there, queen f3, queen d4, and rook to b5. And queen c3 was played by Magnus Carlsen. Basically, this game, I believe, heading into a draw. Well, I wonder if any side can try to play for a win. Well, obviously, this one leads nowhere, particularly against Magnus. The black will simply defend this pawn passively, and even 4 against 3, it's a draw, but here white is not even getting 4 with a stream. Well, back to Geary with Adams. It went through bishop g7, bishop h6, bishop h6, rook h6, and rook c6. So it has to be something decisive here. But Geary, all the credit to Geary, he's fighting with great spirit here. Black king cannot really escape those checks. King g6 is queen c6, and king has to go back. Wesley So with Magnus Carlsen finished in a draw. I believe, I don't know how it has happened. Simply they reached move 41. So Magnus remains on +4. He cannot be caught in this round, but Vishy Anand can come closer if he wins his game against Shahryar Mamedyarov. So that's the current situation in Anand with Mamedyarov. Mamedyarov is down to 2 minutes and some seconds for 9 moves till the...
Rook b8, queen to d5 maybe.
d5.
And queen e6, e5.
Ah.
Yeah,
And then the bishop. Yeah.
Rook b5, bishop a2, I think. Rook c2, bishop b1.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought I needed. Somehow I thought you should take, but then I thought the bishop was better on
b6.
On b6 because
pressure from d4.
Yeah, but after e5 I couldn't see anything. I was only
something.
Rook e6.
Rook a7.
But then just take.
Then take.
I thought just take. Okay, and
okay.
yeah. No, I mean in this position I think Yeah, you should go
e4.
e4. But anyway, it's
Not
c5,
yeah, or c6.
Yeah, c6. I think it's nothing special.
I thought maybe, I'm not sure, d3 here, which was my first intention.
What?
d3.
d3.
And then, but maybe you're just fine.
But c6.
Here?
Yeah.
And then if I take pawn, or
yeah, maybe bishop. I don't know.
But can I take this?
Yeah, you can take it with rook c8. Queen s3, queen g6. I think pawns are
and rook c2.
Yeah, I think always enough compensation for a draw at least.
Yeah, I think queen g5 is a strong move.
Yeah. No, I mean in the opening, it was interesting position.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
also
very
here knight e1 of course is possible.
And
But,
c6 or
c6, I thought the knight to b5. And
I thought even to f5.
maybe to f5, but I liked the knight coming
Knight
to c7.
And yeah.
And also, yeah, it was.
Take. So maybe queen. I thought my move queen a4 is very interesting, but maybe the way you play is just gives you a lot of activity.
I don't know. It's weakening, but maybe I have. Queen g5 is important. Of course, c6 bishop b2 is better for white.
Yeah, c6 bishop to take.
But now, after queen g5, I think it's okay.
What if I play e4 here? It's nothing. c6.
Yeah, e4 c6.
Oh,
I mean, I think you have to push a3 at some point anyway to avoid this bishop c3.
c6.
Yeah.
And maybe this.
Rook d8.
But maybe just a way to try.
Yeah, I think.
Take rook d3.
Yeah. Okay, I think white should fight for equality in this position.
Oh, you will pawn.
Yeah, I think so.
But probably miss some chances somewhere. But
maybe bishop a5 was a4
bishop
was
a.
not necessary.
Rook eb8, you think?
Yeah, rook eb8.
Yeah, probably. And if queen b1, rook a4. Queen c4, rook a4. Rook b1, now b3. Yes, unpleasant defending for me.
Do we have any questions?
Sorularımız var mı? Buyurun.
У меня вопрос к обоим гроссмейстерам. Турнир можно назвать уже завершенным. Как оценивают они свои выступления? И получили ли тот результат, который хотели? И с каким соперниками у них больше запомнилась их игра?
Каким что?
Соперниками запомнилась игра.
Well, you know that the question goes to both the players. You know, almost tournament is completed; it's over. So, what do you generally think about this tournament, and which opponent do you think was the most difficult for both of you?
Well, I mean, let's take stock after tomorrow. A lot can happen on the last day. Yeah? So, I think it's important not to look back before tournament is over.
So, by the way, Magnus Carlsen, what do you generally think about this tournament? How did this tournament go for you?
So far it's good, but it can all change tomorrow.
Əslində turnir mənim üçün yaxşı keçdi, pis olmadı, amma biz əslində bunun tam tamamlanmasını söyləmək üçün gərək sabahki nəticəni də gözləyək, çünki sabahki nəticə də ola bilsin ki, müəyyən bəzi şeyləri dəyişsin. Amma ümumiyyətlə yaxşı oldu, normal keçdi.
Wesley?
Well, just very glad to be in this tournament, and I started playing my best. And at start it went very well, but somehow in the second half things just went very badly, and I was fortunate today to save the game. And no, there's one more game tomorrow, and just have to give my best. But at the same time, I'd like to congratulate Magnus, because it seems that how things are going right now, it's just seems. I mean, it's clear that he's gonna win the tournament. I mean, of course, it all depends on, because Fishy is still playing today. But yeah, it's been a very dominating tournament for him. And no, still, as he said, still one more game tomorrow.
Və mən əslində bu turnir Wesley belə cavab verdi ki, turnirdə iştirak etmədən çox şad idi və turnir bildiyiniz kimi birinci hissəsi çox yaxşı keçdi, yaxşı nəticələr oldu. Birinci hətta tamamladım. Və amma ikincisi o qədər də yaxşı keçmədi. Nəticələr özünüz də çox gözəl bilirsiniz. Yəni ilk oyunda da qalib gəldim və eyni zamanda da mən yanımda əyləşən mən Bizavimi də təbrik eləmək istəyirəm. Yəni belə görsənir ki, turnirin qalibi çox gümankı odur. Baxmayaraq ki, hələ bir şey yanat oynayır və ola bilsin ki, nəsə baş versin.
Any more questions?
And one more question to both of the chess players. Which opponent, which game you remember the most?
From this tournament.
Yes, in this tournament.
Which game what?
Which game you remember, which game against which player you will remember the most from this tournament?
That you're impressed by the most?
For me, of course, the game today with world champion and maybe one of my wins, maybe on the first round against Anish. And I think in general, my level of play in this tournament has not been very high, so I look forward to improve on that.
Mənim üçün yadda qalan Wesley söylədi ki, bugünkü elə dünya çempionu Magnus Carlsen oynadığı və də ilk raundlarda Anish Giri ilə oynadığı və qalib gəldiyi oyun daha çox yadda qaldı. What about yourself, Mr. Magnus?
Yes, for me, certainly the game with Maxime from the fifth round. From a creative point of view, that was definitely the highlight for me.
Və mənim üçün isə Maksim Lagravla ilk turnirlərdə turlardan olduğu